I just got your notification.
Hey YouTubers and friends, how you doing tonight? Awesome, I hope. We'll be right back with, oh, what do you want to call him? Antman, Gold Rush, California Gold Rush. Our good friend Adam from the road in the Motherlode country of California. We'll be right back after this. Hey everybody, I see Patrick and Dana are kicking back, having a safety meeting. They're going to be in southern Indiana tomorrow, finding that gold. We have Eric in the house, and Paul, and Ronald, and Jurin. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. Wish my hand would heal up though. We have our buddy transplant to the West Coast from the East Coast. Adam, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. The sun actually just came out. Figures right as I'm sitting in the face of it, but it's been raining quite a bit. But we're doing pretty good. I got a couple nice stickers off of Bedrock.
Nice, nice. That looked like a really nice place. I caught in one of your videos when you were working all that Bedrock. I hope
there seems to be a lot of good Bedrock spots around here for some reason. And you don't even really have to work all that hard to. I mean, I can't imagine if you really put some time in on some of these spots and dug some holes. I mean, you can go around and just scratch Bedrock all day. Well, this is pretty cool here. This is the top of those like the top of the dredge where all the lines go.
Right, that's on top of the gantry.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool artifacts all around this park. There's a big pinion gear on the other side, and the bottom bucket piece that always falls off on Beats' dredge. You know how it always. There's one of those down there.
Nice, nice.
This whole park too. All these parks around here. I was looking at it on Google, and this whole area was bucket line. And down in Central California, ciao, Petey. When I was metal detecting on those dredge piles, that whole area looked just like this does off to the side. What they did was they just flattened all that stuff out and then made a parking here. And so, I mean, you could probably, you know how like people back home, we go and metal detect around the parks and you might find a ring or a necklace or something. You could find like a big nugget here.
Well, yeah, because whatever didn't go through their classification on the bucket line went right into the tailings.
And I think they only did an inch, is what Mark was telling me. So, I mean, anything over an inch could be laying out here just under the grass.
Yeah, you could have a big honking nugget just waiting for you.
Yeah.
Now, have you checked out on the regulations there for
Well,
metal detecting?
in parks, on parks, I don't think, I mean, I haven't seen any signs. I know back home there would be signs where you could and couldn't do it. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, it was, you know, some of the spots that are out in this one here particularly, it's kind of like right on the road. I mean, anybody could see you, but you know, out of sight, out of mind, who knows? I mean, I haven't seen any signs. I know that I was metal detecting in that park. I'm not going to say where I was now, but
I know different cities have different ordinances about it, and you know.
I tell you what, I mean, one of the spots that I like the most. I mean, you couldn't be in more plain sight of the Rangers, and I mean, they've seen me down there, and you know, thank you guys for not coming and bothering me, but I haven't had any problems. And I mean, as long as you're not down there and you're not trying to like break the whole bedrock apart, and you know what I mean, if you're going down there, I mean, you can literally go down there with your pan and hang out for a while and do okay. Right. So I mean, and if it's a public spot that you can get to really easy, I mean, it kind of should be like that, because everybody and their brother would be down there with a sluice box every weekend, and you know, it'd be a different story. But I mean, you could go down there and go and hang out and pan. It takes you, Petey, cut it out. It takes like probably 15 minutes to walk down there from the parking lot, you know, and there's a bunch of spots like that around here. That's why I like this area. I'm closer to work, and then I could go every day after work if I wanted to for a half hour, an hour at any one of these spots, or longer, depending on what time I get out.
Nice. Those spots along the American River?
The spots on the American River, a few other creeks that I can't really name that they're like out of sight. I mean, you would never think, I mean, there's people walking and riding horses right by, and I don't understand how other people aren't at some of these spots. Like, why? Because like if you go into the hills right now, into like where I was on my last video, it's snowing up there right now, and you know, I don't want to go play in the snow. I'm only probably 40 minutes from that spot, and you can see it's sunny. It's kind of raining today, but if it wasn't raining, it would be like 70 degrees out. And these spots are right here. You don't have to drive. They were mining here. They just, like I just said, they bucket lined this whole area. There was obviously gold here. They didn't drag a dredge down here to have fun and clean rocks. I mean,
no,
there's gold all through here. So I don't know why you wouldn't just go. I mean, some of these creeks that are running through the city areas, I would rather go play in a porta potty, because that's pretty much what you're playing in because of the squatter issues and stuff like that. But
Right.
some of them, I mean, if you go out into, I mean, all these lakes that are out here, they were all part of an old tertiary channel. If you follow where the ruby mine was and all that stuff and goes down the way that the old rivers were before the mountains went all over the place and changed everything, all these lakes were all like low spots. That's why they're lakes now. And, you know, and they,
Well, a lot of them are also caused by glaciers too. California had a lot of glacial activity back in the day.
yeah, up
So,
high, those ones up high, but the ones down here in the valley along the edge in the foothills, um, those all used to be part of a larger structure.
well,
Yeah,
you know, like any glaciated area, you get ice dams, and then
yeah.
you get massive floods from ice dams. And I know the Big Valley quite well, the San
Well,
Joaquin Valley. So all those dams, when those ice dams broke, like up Yosemite Valley on the Merced River, when those break, all that outwash would go into the Central Valley, into the Big Valley.
Lake McLean, right? That's another one that I was around. That was pretty good. It was at the end of the Yosemite.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people even still in Cali. They think all the gold was taken and they'd rather be in the Sac or Frisco or LA or wherever the case may be. In Bolivian, um, just being Bolivious, in Bolivian.
Even
And,
even Sacramento, there's gold under Sacramento. There's
oh,
gold
yeah,
under Yuba City. There's a bucket line still going in Yuba City north of it. It's in the center of the valley. There's still dredging in the center of the valley. So the whole thing has gold. I mean, it's not. It's just a matter of being able to get out there and do it. I guess. I mean, a
right.
lot of that land is private property. Is the problem. But you can actually, you know what? I know you can metal detect in some of these parks because there was a guy in California up around, I want to say it was around Yuba, but it might have been in Butte County somewhere. But he was metal detecting in a town park and found a huge nugget. It was like, it was almost a pound of gold or something. And that was in a
Nice.
town park, an old town park like this is.
Well, break out that Fisher gold bug you have and
Yeah.
hit those tailing piles. You never know what you may find, you
But
know.
they're everywhere. I was just behind, I was parked at the coffee shop, and all behind the shopping plaza was the old mounds built up. It was an area that wasn't developed, and that's all it was dredge tailings. It's everywhere. It's underneath all these stores.
Right.
It drives you nuts, really, thinking about it. You know, that you could be driving right over a nugget going down the road, and you would never know. But,
Goes to show, you know, the street. They used to say the streets of San Francisco were paved with gold. You know, it was the gold rush that made that town. We have
yeah, I
quite a
guess,
few people in here adding up. Taz Adventures and David, Gold Rush Australia. He changed his name a bit. And we have Captain Kirk. Hey, I just subscribed to that guy. Thanks for joining us. I think a few of these guys are also your friends too, buddy. Too bad you can't look at the chat.
I probably could on my other phone, but it will screw it up, right? I'll try
it, it's funny, David. They could have been talking to you. Don't worry about it. I have a couple other guys in here, as you all know, and I don't have to pay as much attention to chat. So if you feel neglected over there in chat, don't feel that way, my friends. I really appreciate you being with Adam and I tonight. Just I don't have Dano or Jesse with me to keep an eye on all you guys. At least, you know, Dano's there, yeah, but you know what I mean. Usually he's up there with where Adam is now. So it's been a while since our last update or report from you. For those who don't know, and for those of you just coming in, we have Adam with us from California Gold Rush here on YouTube. Eric wants to know where you're at right now, Adam. He's in
California.
the park.
I'm in California. I'm actually not gonna. I gotta be really, really careful on what I say. I've had 4 hacking, whatever the hell you call them, problems. I mean, if it was hip to be hacked, I'd be running that stuff. Because I've gotten hacked 4 times since I've been here. I've only been here for a month and a half, and they're really messing with a lot of my stuff. And I think a lot of it's my location. I know that somebody was on my account in Kingsburg, California, which is like 2 hours south of where I am, and I've never been there, but I drove by there, and it was when the original hacking problem really got bad, was when I was in that area when I stayed with John Ratley. So it's somebody in California, and I know they've been monitoring all my stuff. They're trying to get me to enter my email address from my other one that has now, my Facebook on my other account has been compromised now too. I can't personal message anybody. I can't like my YouTube, I have to respond on my other phone to my YouTube comments. So a lot of my stuff's messed up. So I'm gonna, for a little bit, I'm gonna try to not disclose my exact locations.
He's at No Tell'em Park in No Tell'em Town, somewhere in California.
I'm in California because everybody knows that. But my videos on YouTube, if you follow my videos, that's not exactly where I was. For a few reasons, it's near where I was, but I'm not going to give my exact locations anymore. I think it's a better idea for now.
That's understandable for now, Adam.
Until I figure it out. I'm going to get a new phone and a laptop, hopefully within a couple weeks, if it ever stops raining here. It's literally, this is the first time I've seen the sun in like a week. It comes out right at the end of the day lately. Ever since I got a job doing concrete, it's just been raining nonstop.
Don't that figure. You know what they say too, Adam. I know you're from Massachusetts. I'm a native Californian. But you know what they say, buddy?
What?
When it rains in California, it pours.
Yeah,
so.
I believe it. But everybody keeps saying, oh, it doesn't do this usually. It doesn't rain. I'm like, yeah, it's because I came here, because it's the same thing. Like every time it rains really bad here, it snows bad back home. So it's like I brought it with me.
Well, Cali needs the rain, just not all at once, or you'll have a bunch of flooding, but which is good for people in our lifestyle.
I just went down. Yeah, I tried to go. I was gonna try to do this feed down on that spot where it's the old cobble bank from the old tertiary stuff settled around the lakes. That spot with the big red cobble line there. I was gonna try to do it from there. And the water, every time we've gone out there, it's been different. It's been, but never really high. And there's one spot that we usually walk down. It's an old riverbed way off to the side. And I just went down there to try to go there, and the whole thing was flooded out. And me and Petey walked down. We got about 3/4 of the way down, And then we started seeing lightning and hearing thunder, and all of a sudden we start walking back, and the trail that you walk down comes from the side of the road, and the whole thing was flooding down, and it raised the river probably 4 inches in probably a half hour. And there was no way we could cross it, especially with the dog. I mean, I would have probably lost Petey. He's been getting pretty brave around the river lately.
John Matthew Villa says, "Gotta go. Keep in touch, Adam."
All right, will do. I saw your text, but I was driving, buddy.
He saw your text, John, but he was driving. He'll stay in touch. So Petey's not quite as I was gonna ask you, is Petey still as pissed off at you as he was?
No, he's I think he's getting used to the like, now that I've been hanging out with some people. I've been hanging out with that kid Mark a lot, and I've been with Barry McAfee, another prospector, and we've been going to the river, and he's getting into the routine. Like, he knows when we're getting close to Mark's house, he gets excited, and he knows that we're going to the river. And it's to the point now, if I'm at a spot that's not public, I can take him off the leash, and he'll stay at the river. He won't take off on me like he did down at the East Fork. But I still can't do it like in the spots, like the public easy spots, because if anything goes by, if a horse goes by, forget about it. He's gone. He's going to be after that thing. Like, he's going to do it. I'm like, the thing will stomp on you, Petey. But he's been really good, and he wants to like play now. He has this little bone, and he used to bring it to me at the house when he wanted to like play. He would bring it and like throw it at my feet and have me throw it across the house, and he would run around and grab it.
Right.
He does it in here. It's like 3 feet, but he'll like come over and throw it on my lap and like sit there and look at me like, come on, throw it, and he'll. So I know he's feeling a little bit more at home.
That's good.
It's tough on the rainy days because like you can't get out, unless you get somewhere that you can go inside, but I don't really. So I mean, I'm kind of stuck in here all the time if it's raining, which is a bummer. But for the most part, he's been a lot happier, it seems. And my wife's coming out April something. I don't know when she's exact date, but she's coming out for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then leaving Monday.
Oh wow, cool. Are your kids coming with her?
No, the kids are staying. She's just coming out. She wants to do a few things, and she wants to see the area that I kind of like, that I want to try to move to. It's going to be a good area for everybody, really. Like, I'll be even closer to good gold, and I won't have the crappy weather still, and it's affordable.
Right.
And there's a water park right near there and stuff. The kids would love it. But she's coming into San Francisco, so I'm gonna pick her up, and then we're gonna go to. She comes in on Friday morning. We're gonna drive down the coast to Santa Cruz, and then hang out at Santa Cruz and Monterey Bay for the night, and then.
Oh, beautiful area. My mom's from that part of California. She grew up in Aptos, which is right on Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
And beautiful area. If she wants to see some big wave surfing while you're up that area, go to a place called Mavericks. It's north of Santa Cruz on 1. And there's also Jade Beach up that way.
Shark Fin Cove, right?
Yeah.
I also want to go through the Redwood National Forest. I haven't done that yet, and that's right there too, I believe.
Yeah, there's the coastal redwoods up that way, and shoot, there's tons of stuff there. It's a beautiful drive, really windy, windy. Highway.
So we're gonna take her down there and then bring her up to a few other spots that I've been, cool spots. Just give her kind of the experience.
Right.
That way she has a better clue. Because I mean, I've sent her pictures and stuff like that, but it really, I'm telling you right now, all my videos, I watch my own videos a lot to look back and see, because I miss stuff all the time, because I don't know if anybody knows this, but I have a horrible anxiety, so, and I have like, I'll get sidetracked real easy. So that's my problem lately, is I'm not concentrating on one spot. I'm bouncing around too much, and I'm bouncing around to too many areas. If I just find a good spot and stay there and just work there, just keep going back there, I'll do better. That's what I used to do back home. So I watch my own videos because I'm taping and I'm not even looking at a lot of stuff because I'm trying to think of stuff for filming.
Right. Oh, I understand.
And do the gold stuff. So like I miss a lot of stuff. I watch my own videos. And what is it? Cut it out. Sorry, she's brown. What was I saying?
You were talking about watching your own videos.
Oh, yeah.
I do the same thing, you know. I watch them a dozen times while I'm editing them, and in the middle and afterwards, and then I change it, and then I send it to Jesse, and Jesse says, you might want to change this, and I go, oh yeah, maybe. And then I upload it and make it live, and then I watch it again and said, you know, I could have did that different, or I could have did that different. And since I started this new show, since I started doing more live, I've kind of neglected all my other videos. I need to get off my ass and do that. Oh, beep. But once you get settled and explore a bunch of areas, you are going to prospect one particular area that you feel best, right?
Yeah, concentrate on one thing. And I've been studying up on the paleoplacers, which is pretty much the higher terraces and benches for the old river gravels, you know, for the tertiary channel stuff. Because the few areas that I've been going to, they're dead smack in there's little pockets of it. Like if you follow where I don't, you know where the ruby mine is?
No, about, yeah.
It's above 80. I think it's somewhere around where 49 hooks in, but it's north of Grass Valley and all that stuff. But if you look at it, where the ruby mine is, it's all the other rivers are going this way, and then there's just a couple spots that go up and down, and there's valleys that go. Those spots are the old river channel that was going north to south.
Yeah. There was a river that went from British Columbia down into Mexico that ran north and south. And when the Sierras came up and the Cascades, it kind of moved everything about and made the rivers go east to west.
The Georgetown Divide, they call it, I guess. But there's a few other spots that it does it. There's one in the area where a couple of my videos were when I was with Mark, and then that other spot that's it's public land. Anybody can go there. It's at the tail end of another one, and there's a lake in between, and then on the other side of the lake there's another one of those channels that goes up that's on public land too, and people overlook it all the time. And then down in Mariposa County, there's another one down around that area right before Lake McLean or Barrett Lake or whatever one it is. But I've been studying up on those, and because when we're walking down into these valleys, we're literally walking by old tailings piles and stuff, like, you know, 900, 1,000 feet up from the river.
Right.
They weren't separating rocks up there for fun. I mean, they were doing stuff up there, and up above that, even more, another 1,000 feet, they did hydraulic mining up there. And all the cobbles up there are big. When you get down to the bottom, there's some areas where they're really big in the low spots of the river, but then they're all smaller, and a lot of the stuff has been washed down the hill, and it gets in the river that way. There's still stuff up on the hill, I know there is, and I want to start working some of those higher deposits where some of the bigger stuff could be, because You know, every time there's a huge flood, everybody rushes to the river and they go and they get all this big gold. Well, where did it come from? Yeah, it could have been at the bottom of the river, but it also could have been way up on the side of the river.
Oh yeah, working its way down.
The alluvial gold is way up on the hill. If it starts raining a ton, the alluvial gold gets washed down. Now the river, like the South Fork of the American River, when I did that video there, at the bottom of the river to the top of where the flood line was, it was probably 100 foot different. The water would have been 100 feet higher. And that's just normal flood. When it goes into, if it ever goes into a crazy flood, it would be way over. It would be up on the hillside. Then all that alluvial stuff that got washed down goes into the river and gets deposited. I mean, it's not a coincidence. So, and there's tons of that stuff. Everybody just goes right to the river. You know, if you just did a little bit of research, and you wouldn't have to. You could do different stuff. I mean, Mark is a lucky SOB. He walks down. He's literally walked down the trail, and there's bedrock spots, and he's found gold just sitting on the bedrock on the trail. You know, hundreds of feet up from the river.
Well, so like was said earlier in the chat room, gold is where you find it.
Yeah. You know? Well, hopefully I find something big. So.
Well, I'm sure right close to you, you probably have some of the stuff you found, huh?
Actually, I do have, I got the other ones, the ones I found on the bedrock the other day. I'm shocked, too, because we all thought it was at least a half a gram. But it was only 0.34 or something like that, 3.2 or 3.4. And I got the biggest one for the day. So I was kind of bummed out. I put them in my little sluice box that Barry gave me. I don't know if they're going to be able to... Where's the camera? Can you see those?
Move it. Okay, right there. Stay. Stay. Some nice little pickers. Move it back a little. There you go. Some nice little pickers there. That's a pretty nice sluice. What's that, a keychain?
No, it's a huge sluice. These are like baseballs.
Don't you wish?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little keychain sluice that Barry made up on his there's my camera, on his 3D printer. Oh, I told him, I said, you should try to make a big one and put it together. There's a guy in Australia that made a sluice box on a 3D printer. He made it in like 6 or 8 inch sections, and then like a drop riffle, and then glued them together.
Well, I mean, you could... Actually, a friend of ours here in Ohio, he's also a member of Gold Prospector Space, but Corey made a river sluice, drop riffle river sluice on his laser printer. Jesse, what's Corey's last name right off the bat?
No, it's not right off the bat.
No, I can't remember it. Corey
I have to look it up.
Yeah, I can't open up anything, but he made that drop riffle sluice box on his printer, right?
Right.
On his 3D printer.
Wasn't it at work? I think he did it at work. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know, but it was on a 3D printer.
Right.
That's cool. Adam.
So I got a couple of videos I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do, I talked to Bigfoot on a pinecone phone, and he wants to go prospecting. So I'm going to be going up to Bigfoot's claim soon.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah, invited me out. He
Ken?
said he'd show me how to pan for real. He said my pan's too small. He says that I'm not using the right size pan or shovel. And he says he knows where the big gold is. So I said, okay. But I'm going to do that. So I'm excited about that. I was going to do that the other day, but I went to go up there and there was a gate. I couldn't get in. So I called Shannon Poe, told him I needed a gate de-installed.
Hey, Shannon, bring up Gate Killer.
That's what I told him.
Let's take care of this doggone gate.
And I have an idea to, it involves moss, I'll say that. And it's not like everybody else does with moss prospecting. So I'm going to be doing that probably first, which should be a cool video. But hopefully, I want my solution like that.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's always nice like that, huh, brother? Mossing's a good indicator. Up in Washington, we have a crap load of moss, so...
Yeah, I mean, I know you can get
a lot.
I know you can get gold out of moss,
Right.
but I want to do a way of getting gold with moss. I'll say that.
Well, if you ever watched Devil's Canyon, Prospector John, that's what he did.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little different.
Well, I'm just saying.
I actually got the idea from going with a guy the other day. He was doing something. He goes, "What are you doing with the bucket?" I said, "Classifying material." He goes, "Oh, no." He goes, "That's not what I do with the bucket." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Let me use it for a minute." And he fills it up with dirt, just shovels it all in there, and then goes over and then just dumps it in the river. And I'm looking at him like, what the hell is this guy doing? But he ended up getting gold. I mean, I can't tell you the whole way that he did it because it'll kind of screw up what I'm going to try, but I think it would just make the way that he did it better. So, be cool. But a couple good ideas for videos if it could ever stop freaking raining. Tomorrow, me and Mark are going out to make a Devil's Canyon type shanty down on a creek. So when we both don't have work, either or, we'll be able to go there, you know, have a spot to get dry, have a campfire, cook food. So that'll be cool. Well, so I'm going to try to do a little video of making that. Hopefully the water isn't, I have a feeling with what I saw today where I was, that where we're going to go tomorrow, we might not even be able to get down there.
So you've been having a lot of rain?
It's been raining nonstop. Like, I got that job, whenever I got that job doing concrete in Sacramento, it started raining. It's been, I think it's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
It's going on 3 weeks, and I've had 4 days of work. Every other day has rained. It rained. It seems like it rains from Tuesday to Saturday. It will be nice Sunday. It'll be nice Monday, and then it'll rain Tuesday. It's like the same thing. And it won't rain everywhere. Like, you could go a half hour away and it won't be raining, but there's no, it's not where I'm working. I'm working in the half hour where there's rain. You know what I mean? Like, so it's been tough. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I stress out over stuff a lot and I overthink things. So much has gone on and I'm nervous about it, but I'm just gonna try to forget about it and just whatever happens, happens. I mean, I'm willing to do anything. For the last week, I've been going helping Barry McAfee at his catering company. We cooked like 800 pounds of tri rib and made potato salad for like 2,000 people or something ridiculous. And I hate, let me tell you, I hate mayonnaise. I hate mustard and I hate relish. And I was dumping buckets of it together, and you know what I mean? Like, if I'm doing that, I'm doing everything I can. You know what I mean? Like, the pay wasn't great and the work sucked, but you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing else for me to do. I have to do whatever I can do. And I'm trying not to worry about it, and hopefully I can square away the internet thing, because that is really not just the Facebook and everything else. It's messed up everything. It's messed up my banking abilities. My none of my work stuff is safe. Like, I sent all of my personal information to my boss, obviously, and then they stole my email account. So now they have everything. They have my social security number. They have everything. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully I can square that all away before it bites me in the ass, because, you know, it's there's a lot going on, and I'm not good with that stuff, and I can't fix it. I've tried. You know, the only thing I can think of is to just try to not worry about it and then just start over and hope for the best. I mean,
pretty much already almost have to now because it's so screwed up.
My email, but the only thing that I'm worried, the only thing that really bothers me, I'll start a new email and I can start a new friends list and all that stuff and keep it limited. But my YouTube account, the only thing that's bothering me is that my YouTube account, because it's on my original email that got hacked. And I don't know how to, if you can switch it, I can't get into the option, because when I click on, they'll let me click on to my YouTube channel and I can go into see my profile, but if I can't go into my settings,
but you can't do anything.
I can't go into Creative Studio. I can't do any of that stuff. So I can't tell them that I had the issue, and then I can't get in to change it. I can't, and then I don't know if you can change your email to your YouTube without losing all your subscribers and your videos.
Oh,
and if
I changed my email,
but I don't know how to do it, and I'm on the phone, and my phone's limited. I literally can't do anything that involves any kind of password, or
you don't have a laptop with you, huh?
No, that's what I gotta do. I have two phones now, and both of them are pretty much useless now, besides talking to people. And one of them I can make YouTube videos and download, and then the other phone I have to comment with.
Oh, man.
So,
you would probably need to get on a laptop or go to the library.
No, that's the problem. I can't go to anywhere where there's public Wi-Fi. That's where my leak is coming from. Somebody's following me.
Okay.
They know where I've been and where I've gone through, and now they're bound. Every Starbucks I go by, my phone turns on Wi-Fi. I have my phone set on no Wi-Fi, so which means that, because I used to be at home, I had Xfinity, so I could be home and I would save my data and go off my home Wi-Fi. When I left my house, it was still on. So every time I went by a store, it turns on. Even if you're just pulling into the parking lot, or if you're going by it on the highway, like the truck stops have free Wi-Fi, it'll pick that up. It wasn't an issue until I got to California, and it got into Southern California. My original hack came from Southern California area. Then driving up through 99, I went through Kingsburg and Fresno, and I stopped in Lodi or something. No, not Lodi. Stockton for gas. And right after that, I downloaded a video, and that was when everything went haywire. And the original list that I got, the people were from Southern California, Fresno, and Kingsburg now, and they were all off Starbucks Wi-Fi's. Now my phone is off for Wi-Fi, but still, when I drive by I'll never go to a Starbucks again. But even driving by them, like if I have my GPS on, all of a sudden my GPS will freeze. And like, because I don't see them all. They're everywhere here. So I'll have to watch my screen. If it freezes, I can scroll down and my Wi-Fi is on. They make it so it's turning on every time. So I know they're in they have control of my Google Maps. I can't use my Google Maps on this phone. I have to use it on my other phone. And they know everywhere I'm going, because even though I can't get into my settings, when I go to these certain recreational areas, like like this one, when I got here, it'll send me a notification to send pictures for Google Maps, and it takes all the pictures off of my phone and puts them up on the screen.
Huh.
So I know they're monitoring everywhere I go, so they know when I'm going, they kind of know where I am because they have my.
You can't block. You can't block
I can't go to the
Starbucks.
center.
You can't block Starbucks or block restaurants from appearing until you're ready for them.
Uh, go
It
go
is, it's on.
go to your Wi-Fi, and on the Starbucks ones, tell it to forget it.
Well, I can't. I just have the option to. It doesn't give me that screen right now. It's off. If it was on, it would give me the option to
Right,
pick.
right.
It's off. It's not supposed to pick them up. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
They have my whole phone. They got it. You know what I mean? It's theirs. It's not even mine anymore. You know what I mean? Like
now
I
can
don't want to pay. It drives me nuts. Like
have you
the
been
hacking
able?
thing.
Go ahead.
I'm not the only
Don't they
person
have? Don't
having
what?
problems with hackers. I know a few other YouTubers that are having issues too.
Oh
Is
yeah.
it because they have your IP address?
They have
Your
they got a hold of when I set this phone up. I set it up with the certain email. My mistake was my email, my Facebook, my YouTube,
okay.
all the same password. So I was
Oh.
super social on there,
Yeah.
posting everything. They assume that I'm like loaded or whatever, doing this gold rush thing or whatever the deal was, or they don't like me or whatever the deal was, and they started hacking me. Now I made the mistake. My code was less than 8 digits. It was all, if you know, I mean, it was the stupidest password. I mean, they probably got it in like 2 seconds, and they got control of everything. So they got my whole Google email, everything, and picked and selected what I could do. And because I actually talked on the phone with the hacker. He called me from Facebook tech support. I tried contacting Facebook because I couldn't go on email. I Google searched on my other phone to call Facebook, you know, because I couldn't contact them because they blocked me out of the other fucking phone. Oops, sorry, but so they ended up. I ended up talking to the actual guy, one of them. You know, he knew right where I was. He would try getting me to send him. At the end, he told me he could fix it. Told me where my account was being used, and like it sounded legitimate. And the icon was from Facebook. It said Los Angeles. It was a Los Angeles number. He gave me his badge ID, his extension number, all the stuff.
It's all legitimate ransomware. And
so then at the end he tells me he can fix it and says that I have to send him Steam cards. Right. And I said, what do you mean? I got to pay for it? And he goes, well, you get the money back in 4 or 5 hours on your PayPal. Give me a PayPal account number. And I said, well, no. I said, well, hold on. Call my wife. And so I call my wife, and she goes, do you know what Steam cards are? And I said, no. She goes, we get them for the kids, for the Xbox. That's how they buy PlayStation and Xbox games. I'm like, well, all right. Well,
yeah, it's basically a phone card.
Yeah. So then I call my buddy. He's really good with computers. He goes, dude, he goes, you fell for like the first scam. He goes, Google search fake Facebook support, and it pulls up 1 million pages of fake. And my thing is, if Facebook knows and Google knows that people are doing it, why don't they go in and shut these sites down? Because naive people like me that aren't computer smart are going to do that. And I hate Facebook now because of it. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me, I kind of need it, but I hate Facebook. It drives me nuts. They could be doing something about it, and they don't.
Too much money involved.
Yeah.
Not yours.
Theirs.
Facebook being one of them.
Yeah.
These platforms, this internet platform, Facebook and even Google, and they're in it to make money any way they can. They don't care about you or me. They don't care about the person that's really using this a lot, because we're not paying anything, you know. We're getting out for free. We're not spending money with them, you know. But you get a hacker that, hey man, here's $2,000. Let me get in here, you know. Then and don't forget, you got people selling email lists. They get hacked into. They got a whole list of emails that they sell on. You know,
That's me.
right.
They got
So,
4 of mine.
yeah. So, yeah,
we
you
have
did.
some
So
comments in the room about hacking and stuff. David from Tasmania, you know, yes, hacking can be that bad. That's why on Messenger, on everything, emails, I don't click on nothing that I don't know who it's coming from. Literally know who it's coming from. Like,
well,
I've been around for a while, like Jesse has, and I became very vigilant when it comes to emails and messages.
right.
I look
You know,
at
like that. You know, when you
profiles
first got hacked,
very close.
when the first time you got hacked, and you got back on, and remember I asked you about a certain person,
Yeah.
your aunt, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And that's because when I get friend requests or like stuff like that, I don't automatically say, okay, I checked them out. I look, yeah, I want lots of friends too, but I,
See,
I,
but
I
they got
look,
crafty with me.
I just start, I look at it. How long you been here? What kind of posts are you putting up? Like I've seen posts or Facebook pages where they'll have a long history or it'll look like a long history, but all you see is like the same picture.
Or happy
Maybe,
birthday,
yeah,
happy birthdays. Because
right.
that's when they
And
get crafty. At the end, they would say that I would
else.
have like good mutual friends, like you or
Right,
Ed or.
right.
So you and see that, and then you look and you see some good stuff. You'll click on it. That's my problem. I was too friendly, and I was
Right. And
easy to click.
the first thing I look at is how many friends you have that I have.
Yeah,
If
mutual
you got none,
friends.
I don't even look at you. If you
Oh,
got
yeah.
one or two, then I'll take a look. And then if I see it's the same picture over and over, and that's all the content, I'm done.
Or they like have those Ray-Bans for $249 Oakley
Yeah,
or whatever,
right.
you know. And,
Clickbait.
Yeah,
there's also some pretty good software for firewalls and virus protection you can get for your phone also. But then again, there's a lot of apps out there that
get
are
around that.
tools for hackers.
Right.
Well, that's what happened to me. I
The best-
downloaded the virus scanner on my other phone, and that's how I got hacked on the phone. The other one that had the new email. So
You
you can't.
gotta be
How do you
vigilant
trust
about
anything?
that.
How do you trust anything? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
first of all, it's the internet. It's all truth.
I read it on the internet. It
Right,
has
so
to
it's gotta
be
be
true.
No, like I said, I'd like to have a million friends too, but I'm not gonna. The bottom line is you just got to be vigilant yourself. Just
Yeah.
have to. You got no choice. All this electronics and stuff, but it can only do so much.
well, that's like what everybody's
like,
giving me.
It's like trying to stop a criminal. You can prevent a criminal from doing an activity a certain way, right? But a good criminal will find a way around that.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like the invention of the lock. The lock
Right.
isn't to stop a crime.
Slow it
It's
down.
to keep the honest and to slow down a crime.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Like Jesse said, a criminal's gonna find a way. And a lot of times they're ahead of the cops anyway. And a lot of the people fighting the hackers are old hackers.
it's like in Vegas. Who do you think watches for the cheaters?
Old
The
cheaters.
that get caught.
Yeah.
And that's who they use because they know what to look for. They've been doing it themselves.
So I had my first trip to the emergency room too,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 days ago now. I got in a bad accident when I was younger, and I had broken my jaw and a bunch of teeth and my arm and a bunch of other stuff, and I have screws and pins and stuff in my jaw, and there's a screw right here and a screw right here and something that connects on my wire or something, and the gums got abscessed and the screw, like, it got infected, and my face swelled up
Oh,
I look like a chipmunk, man. I mean, it was bad, and I could feel it the day that I went to the Volcanoville video. I could feel it that day. Like, right here, I lost all the nerves in my chin in the accident. For like a year and a half after the accident, I couldn't feel my chin at all, and then it went away. But still, now it's happened again. Ever since it flared up that day at the river, my chin went numb, and I could feel a little bit of pain, and then it just swelled and went crazy. So luckily I was camped out in the city, and I was near a hospital because it was like 3 in the morning, and I was like, I can deal with anything. I mean, I would rather have my arm in my lap bringing into the hospital than have something wrong with my mouth and my face. It's like the only pain I can't tolerate. I've had 9 million stitches, broken bones. I got pins, plates, everything. I would rather deal with that than a freaking toothache or a jaw problem or something like that. And I couldn't sleep. I went to the hospital, and of course my insurance, it shouldn't work. You know what I mean? My Massachusetts insurance, it's Tufts. Nope, my insurance didn't work. The lady at the hospital was like, well, we're going to bill you. And I was like, go ahead, freaking bill me. I'm not going to pay for it. But then I was like, okay, so then I had to get my prescriptions for amoxicillin and ibuprofens. And so I go to the pharmacy and I try my card at the pharmacy, and the guy's like, it's not working. And so he was actually friendly. He was trying to help me. I told him, I said, I told him I was on vacation at first. And then I told my mom was like, don't tell him you're trying to move there and you're living there, because you get out-of-state insurance telling you're on vacation. I told him I'm on vacation, and was telling him about the gold prospect, and then we started talking. So he was being cool, and he was like, well, he's like, your wife and your kids have it too, right? And I said, yeah. He goes, well, see if it works for them. So he checked on hers and theirs works. But for some reason, mine doesn't work, of course. So there was like it would have been like almost $300 for the 2 prescriptions, or a little over, or something like that. It was like $167 or $178 or something like that for the amoxicillin. And they gave me like the most expensive thing. They didn't give me the generic ones. They gave me like freaking Rolls Royce of antibiotics. So it was a whole ordeal, and I was like scrimping and scraping to get my freaking. I needed the antibiotics so bad. I wouldn't be able to do this. I went to work for Barry for 2 days, and I was miserable. Like, I didn't want to talk. I couldn't eat. You know, I freaking hated life, and there was no way I could go on without him. So I had to just bite the bullet, and he ended up giving me his discount from the pharmacy too, which was cool.
Oh, that was cool.
But I still have a little bit of swelling, and I still feel kind of crappy, but mentally I'm back. Like, I was freaking ready to freaking shoot myself the other day. I was like so miserable.
Just keep the mental high ground, you know. A lot of the battles up here, you know.
right.
Oh yeah.
It's all in your head.
Yeah. I'm like getting used to it though. Like, that's why I like this area, because it's more comfortable for me. I'm not the spot that I've been staying. It was like the last spot I would ever think I'd be able to stay, especially in the city I'm staying in. It's like a ritzy city, and I've been there a bunch of times, never had an issue. It's a 20-minute ride to work. If I got work, we're doing the concrete. It's like a half-hour ride to the catering place, and it's like 20 minutes from prospecting from a few different places, and then I could go an hour and be at some really good spots. So I'm like getting more comfortable with the whole thing. I'm getting used to being in the van more and more.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of.
Well, now I think the main part about it is the Planet Fitness thing. Like I wish I did that before. Like being able to just go there and take a shower, and that's like one of my huge. I used to take like 2 showers a day back home. So like not being able to shower when I wanted to was really driving me nuts. So now that I have that option, and there's Planet Fitness is all over the area here, and some of them are nice. One of them is like a spa. You can go in and get hydro massages, and it's $10 a month. I mean, I was paying $12 per shower at the truck stop, and it's a freaking shady ass truck stop. You're standing in a convenience store with your shower bag. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
Yeah, and who knows what you catch off the floors and those things.
That's what I'm saying. I had sandals on. I wanted to wear my bathing suit. You know what I mean? I didn't want to touch anything. And you're paying $12 to do it. But you really want to do it, even though it's horrible.
Right.
So I think having the Planet Fitness thing, like at first I was like, there's no way I could do this van life for as long as I got to do it. And I was like itching to get an apartment. And then I was starting to stress when it's been raining so much. I'm like, now I've missed like a whole month of work. I only have an X amount of months before the kids are coming out. And, I'm thinking if I get an apartment, then I'm going to be wasting money. So I'm going to try to stick it out, doing it the way I've been doing it for at least a little bit longer until I can, hopefully it stops raining. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's all coming from British Columbia. I got a screenshot of it. It looks like a massive hurricane. It's all coming from Prince George. There's a circle of rain, and it's spinning, and it's coming down the coast and going up and going back over towards you guys, and it goes back up and over. It looks like a massive hurricane.
Yeah, we got some snow coming this way here next week.
I know my wife sent me pictures and stuff, and I was like, man, I mean, I'm complaining about the rain, but I can't complain too much because I could be back dealing with that snow. Because
that nor'easter you missed. How'd your family come out in that?
They got over 2 feet of snow, and it's gonna snow on Tuesday again.
They had like 3 of them in a row, one right after the other.
Yeah.
Storms right in a row. Yeah.
Now they're having another one in a couple of days, and the snow's not melting. It's so cold, so it's not melting.
And because you're in it, and I tried to get a hold of you, but my messages to you on Facebook wouldn't go through.
No, the only way you can get through to me on Facebook is to post on just regular post and tag my name.
Right.
I can't get personal messages, and I can only tag like 1 or 2 times a day before it blocks me out.
Don't you have my number?
I do. Yep.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, I do have.
I was wondering how your family was doing back there during that storm because I know it was
they lost
pretty rough.
power. They lost the whole area lost power for like days. All the schools got shut down. A lot of the businesses were shut down. A lot of people were in hotels.
That wasn't good.
For some reason, the area that my wife was in, they didn't lose power. Besides a little bit, they're not bad. Some people didn't have power for 4 or 5 days.
Actually, I should get a hold of my son. He's up in Lowell. Huh.
They've been probably getting snow. Yeah.
So.
Usually from 495 to the ocean gets whaled because the storms come across and it just sits on the side of the highway and drops snow down.
Yeah, I don't miss the weather in New England at all.
No. Well, that's what I mean. That's why I like this area, because if I can't find anything to do and I want to deal with the rain, I can go down to the river. And once we build this little Devil's Canyon type shack, I'll be down there all the time because it's an awesome spot. And if you got a spot to set up a little fire and cook some hot dogs, and PD can get down there and get off his leash and I don't have to worry about him. What the heck, man? That'll be a great spot for me to just post up camp. The material it's literally like cemented together river gravel. So right now, even though it's flooding, that area is getting worked up. It will leave little deposits downstream. Like you can go upstream and it'll be clear bedrock, but then next to it's all the hardtack. And then every time it floods, the loose stuff from top comes down and breaks up the hard stuff and sends it down river, and then it sits on top of bedrock. So every time it floods, it's opening up some new stuff. The other stuff, you can go over and hit it with a sledgehammer, and it doesn't do anything. So right now, it's loosening stuff up. So, I mean, if it doesn't, it's not supposed to rain Sunday, and it's not supposed to rain Monday. Hopefully, I'm working Monday, but Sunday for sure, we're going to put in a good day down there. And last time, I didn't even bring my sluice box down there. So I'm going to bring my sluice. And
how are you finding the cost of living there? I know it's pretty high out in California.
To be honest, it's not much different than Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I could get a place in Auburn, in Gold Country, with an extra room and an extra bathroom and a yard and a garage for $300 less a month than what I was paying in Franklin.
Well, can't complain about that.
And the only thing that I've noticed that's really different, like economy-wise, like food, and I smoke cigarettes, which I shouldn't, but cigarettes are cheaper.
Really?
Food's pretty much the same. Yeah, Marlboros are $8. You can buy 2 packs, and they give you $1.50 off. They're like $13 in
$8, and you're calling that cheap?
Well, they're $13 in Mass.
Wow. And in New York, they're what, 20 or something? Jeez,
that's what I'm saying.
Ungodly expensive, and most of it's because of taxes. And,
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Food's the same price, and there's way more options. Like there's a million different kinds of fast food, tons of different. Like,
oh yeah.
Every store we had back home, they got 5 or 10 different of the same store, but you know what I mean? Like your different options.
Right.
And the only thing I've noticed that's a little bit more is gas. Like the cheapest gas you can find is like $2.96, $2.98 for the crappy stuff. You know, if you go to like Mobil or Shell, it's gonna be like $3.30 for regular.
Right.
That's the only thing that I can see different. And then they don't have inspection stickers on the car here.
What?
You don't have to inspect your car.
Oh, you gotta inspect it. Believe me, when you go to register it, they'll do a smog test. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
No, they smog test, but not like Massachusetts. They pick your car apart with a fine-tooth comb.
They'll inspect your car. They'll inspect your signals, your lights.
They'll inspect it.
They don't have stickers.
Well, no.
And I think lots of people drive around with no license plates for some reason.
Well, you won't be able to register it unless you do, especially an out-of-state vehicle.
Right.
Oh no, I'm not even gonna try to register this thing. Being from Massachusetts, the substandard cars that you get on the East Coast, even the crappy cars here are better than this thing. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna try to register this thing.
Park it.
I'm gonna end up once the kids get here. This thing's paid for and insured until they're coming here. So I don't have to worry about my insurance and my registration. Until then, I just got to worry about gas and maintenance. So this thing, I mean, it would be good for, I've been to probably 4 claims right so far that I could actually drive this up to and park it, and I could stay there for like a week. But most of them, if I had like a small pickup truck or something like that, a Jeep, I could get out to a lot more spots. And I'm gonna, once I get a house or an apartment or whatever I'm gonna be doing, I'm getting rid of this thing and getting another Jeep or something like that. So I mean, I'll just let it run out, and then so I have the title with me. I already pre-thought about it, so I mean, I can sign it right over to somebody and they can do whatever with it. But I'm not going to try to register this one, and I'm not going to try to get another vehicle before because I don't have a California address. You know, I could use somebody else's to do it, but I'm not going to bother doing that. I'll just
Well, you don't have to change any of that over for how long, because there's a limit on how long you can drive around with out-of-state plates and living.
Well, that depends, you know. As long as he says he's visiting and he's on vacation, they won't. You know, who are they to say you're not?
Right. Like, I have a job
once they
now,
can
but
prove you intend to live there.
Well, yeah. Well,
they can prove I'm intending to live here.
Exactly.
I have a job that I'm paying taxes now.
Oh yeah. Well, then I think you have 30 days to get a California ID and a bunch of stuff. Your registration, you can wait till it's out.
Could I use
probably not? Probably not.
No, I think it has to be a home address.
There, Bob from New England said he's got a Jeep for sale.
Yeah, I left my Jeep in New England. I gave it to Kevin. Well, sold it to Kevin.
I don't think that's Bob, Jesse. Don't look like
Oh, no, I
Bob's
guess
name.
it isn't. No, it isn't. It isn't Bob. Oh, because he's down east.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anybody have any questions? I feel like I talk all the time.
You do. That's okay. That's why you're here.
We could open up the phone lines and see if someone wants to call and ask you a question.
Sure.
I'm trying to clean up my connection to YouTube. We're not quite in the green right now on the YouTube side. Hopefully she'll go back. As Kevin.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, it was Kevin. He's got my Jeep. Is what he's saying. Fucking bastard.
He didn't quit. All over it.
He didn't quit, David. He vapes. He didn't quit smoking. It's just a whole different type of smoking. So you're both being oil vapors.
I still go through the motions of smoking.
They say vaping is bad for you.
And you're still taking nicotine.
Here's reality, Adam. Every day kills you.
Yeah. Especially in California, they say milk causes cancer and coffee.
Everything kills you.
Everything causes cancer in California, brother. Everything.
Dredging causes cancer.
Oh, yeah, you name it. You know, breathing causes cancer in California.
I couldn't believe that. You walk into the coffee shop and it says, warning, coffee causes cancer. I'm like, really? I'm like, it didn't back in Boston. I'm like... Got a coffee.
Here. Oh, never mind. I will. Maybe later. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's everything causes you death. Cancer is a strange thing. You ever wonder why one smoker will get cancer and another smoker doesn't?
Yeah,
it's all genetics.
It's luck of the draw. It's your gene.
Yeah, it's in your gene pool. It's all genetic.
They say that whether you smoke or not doesn't really determine whether you're going to get cancer.
Yeah.
It just.
Yeah, I know people that have never done anything and they got cancer.
Right.
And then I had
a fallacy as far as I'm concerned.
Mr. Buckle.
I'm no scientist. What do I know?
Buckle, the governor. What's up, buddy?
The governor. What you call me, the governor?
The governor.
That's more of a Brit thing, ain't it, Governor? Down with you, it'd be, hey, Mike, g'day.
No, the
G'day,
governor. We
Mike.
have governors. We have governors. Back in Boston, that was like if someone was in charge of an area, you would call him the governor. You know.
Ah.
Well, that's because
I'm
you're
not in charge.
New England.
Oh, no, I actually am. I what I want, and when I complains, I bloody make him suffer for it. So yeah, I am the governor.
Yeah.
It's the governor. Go on, Dave.
Adam.
Yeah.
He has a
I've got
hypothetical
a question
for you. Sorry, David. I couldn't help it. The devil made
It's
me
not
do
a
it.
hypothetical question, Adam. Don't panic.
He's got a real question.
I've got a real question. The question I have for you is, and I think I already know the answer, have you heard my gold prospectors joke?
I don't think so, actually.
No, I don't think you have either because I only just made it up. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk slow. There was 3 nuns driving along in a car when they had a car accident, and they got killed. And they went up to the pearly gates of heaven and the golden gates of heaven, and St. Peter came out, and he said, "You ladies have been so good in life. I'm going to give you another chance and send you back down, and you can be a different person and have some fun." And St. Peter says to the first one, "What do you want to go back as?" And she said, "I want to go back as a really good gold prospector with lots of knowledge, and I want to be able to travel and create a channel with my old gold rush." Ding. He sent her back. Second one. Said, "I want to go back."
Oh, we're losing you.
We can't hear you, David.
Start at the second one.
Right?
Start off at the second one again.
The second one said, "I want to go back as someone with a really, really cool talkback radio show and be surrounded by really, really cool people. And I want to have the voice of someone who's on radio." But ding, sent back as Ed Marvin.
Oh, brother. That's a joke right there, buddy.
The third one, can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear you.
Oh, yeah, we hear you.
The third one said, "I want to go back as Sarah Pippilin." And St. Peter said, "Who?" She said, "Sarah Pippilin." He said, "Who?" She goes, "Look, I've got a news article." And she pulled this really old news article out of her handbag and said, "See, Sarah Pippilin." And he said, "Yeah, look." St. Peter said, "No, love, that's not Sarah Pippilin. That says Sahara pipeline laid in 3 days by 1,000 men."
That's good.
Oh,
A lot better
Oh,
than
guy,
Mike
come here,
Pung's minor jokes.
That's good.
see you later.
Good day, David. Always a pleasure.
All right, mate, see ya.
Thanks for calling in, Dave.
Later, Dave.
He's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Dave's gonna start being a little tidbit of our weekly shows.
Good.
He's gonna give us a call about 15 minutes or so into our show every week and give us the lowdown on the down under.
Yeah.
Or the down under lowdown.
I think he's gonna end up coming out. He's gonna come out to California and hang out at some point.
When he comes out, he needs to do a nationwide tour because he has to visit a bunch of us.
It's expensive, man. It's expensive to travel.
It is.
I told him to start a Patreon account and try to do it, man. I mean, I know that people would love to do it. I mean, it's something that, especially coming from Tasmania, would be amazing, you know, to go around and see all the different stuff and meet all the different people. But it's expensive. You know how much money it would cost just to fly from Tasmania to California? It would be about $6,000, I would imagine. So
it'd be a lot in a very long plane.
And then you need a car, and you need gas, and you need food, and you need, you know what I mean? It's expensive. It would cost probably $50,000 for him to travel around the country. I mean, I would imagine. And that's rough. If you're going to try to stay at hotels or resorts, forget about it. You got to be a friggin' millionaire. You know?
Dan says hi, Adam.
What's up, Dan?
Dan Zoller.
Dan Zoller.
Dan Zoller, right.
Yeah, Dan, I went up to your spot there, and man, that river was raging. It was flooded like major. It's a good thing I left when I did, because I probably wouldn't have been able to get back out the trail.
I needed to ask you. Do you ever get back to that root ball?
No, but I'm going back. I'm going back.
All that dirt will be gone by the time you get back there. Somebody else will hit it.
No, I'm telling you, there was only that one old man down there. It was like his own little private spot. And he doesn't work that bedrock. He was working the tree that came off and went downstream. He was working the bottom of that one, and it was massive. It was probably about 20 feet around.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, there's better material up where I am now. Well, but I'm going back down.
Think about the tree itself. Look how big that tree was. How big that root ball was. That tree's been there for a long time. I don't know if you watched any of Prospector John's videos.
Yeah.
In one of his videos, he takes this lady and her husband down to the creek, and they find a fallen tree that just fallen recently. Well, that lady worked all the rocks and the dirt out of that root ball. You should have seen the chunky gold that come out of there. That's why I said right away, grab me some of that dirt and send it to me.
Well, I'll grab you some of it, because I'm going back down to see John Ratley. I was supposed to go back down this weekend, but I can't afford it. I left my high banker and stuff down there, so I got to get back down there at some point. But when I go back down to see him, it's on the way through to Cooterville, or whatever they call it. I call it Cooterville, but it's on the way there, and I'll stop because I want to go back and hit that bedrock anyway. But that tree, honestly, in comparison to where I'm gonna be going the most, where there's a bunch of big trees down, these ponderosa pines that are out there are over 200 years old. That tree that was down there was probably about 80, 100 years maybe. These ponderosa pines they're the smaller of the big trees here, and they're massive. I mean, they're way bigger than any tree I've ever seen.
Have you been able to visit the sequoias at all?
No, that was when I was coming up from Southern California, and I was having issues then. I ended up driving right by the sequoias, but when my wife comes out, we're going to go through the redwoods. So
definitely
I'll be able to see that. Yeah, I really want to go to the redwoods.
Yeah, check out Stanton Beach. No, what's the name of it? Stanton Beach, just over the other side of Marin County.
Yeah.
Don't go to San Francisco. I hear it really sucks out.
No, I won't go to San. I have to pick my wife up in San Fran. I told her, she goes, I want to go. I said, no. I said, because I went to a job interview in Vallejo and Martinez. The worst experience. It makes Mattapan look like frickin' Wellesley. You know what I mean? It was horrible. There was no way. You got to get a map of where people aren't pooping on the sidewalks in San Francisco.
Well, it's funny because they actually have an app in San Francisco that tells you where the poop is.
No, they give you the maps out on the side of the road. There's little stations where you can stop and pick the maps up. I'm not going there. Why would I want to go there? You know what I mean?
I was liberal government for you.
We're going down to Santa Cruz. I said that we're getting the hell out of San Francisco. We'll drive over the Golden Gate Bridge, and then that's it, you know.
I used to live there. I lived there back in the 70s, early
Did ya?
70s. It was great there. I mean, you know, it was just.
I would imagine it's a beautiful spot, but
Oh,
I wouldn't want to get out between the tweakers and the poop on the street. I'm all set.
Right. When I was there, it wasn't.
Nothing like it is
I mean, there were
now.
still us hippies out there, but
Yeah.
most of us lived in places, you know.
Yeah, this area, like from Sacramento to the Sierra Nevadas, there's obviously riffraff here and there, but it's not like anywhere else that I've been. No one's bothering you, no one's coming up to you, and they're not everywhere. I mean, I saw some crazy stuff going on. You know, people asking you I had a lady ask me for a ride, and I said no, and she started screaming, and then went away, and she goes, "What's wrong with asking somebody for a ride to go kill innocent people?" And I mean, like, these people are black. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this area, I haven't had any interactions the whole time I've been here, and I've been here for a good amount of time. I couldn't spend a half hour anywhere, any of the other places I stayed besides on John's farm, that I didn't have an interaction with people. So I like this area overall for multiple reasons. I mean,
stay away from those coastal cities, the big ones. You'll be fine. The rest of the states, you know, fairly decent.
yeah.
You know, was. Don't know anymore. But
Yeah, it's changed a lot since
Right.
we've last been there.
Right.
Even in, well, let me see. It's been quite a while since the last time I've been there too. So even the last 15 years, it's changed a lot. Unfortunately, you know, I was from Southern California. My mom's from Northern California. We had a house in Central California also. And yeah, Joseph, Sacramento, San Francisco, LA, and San Diego would just fall into the Pacific. California would be a great place again.
But you can't say just Sacramento, though, because Sacramento's huge. Like, when you go like a half hour out of the actual city, unless you're in southern Sacramento or in western Sacramento, and I guess even northern Sacramento, it's a crapshoot. But on the east side of Sacramento, towards the foothills, this whole area is really nice. Like, this is considered that's considered the Sacramento area. You know, like Auburn, not Auburn, I don't think, but like I forget the towns, Carmichael and Roseville and Rockland and El Dorado Hills and Folsom and all those areas. I mean, it's Sacramento County. You know, Sacramento itself is a nightmare. I mean, just like any capital is, you know what I mean? Boston's a crapshoot too. So, I mean, you're going to have that, but the outer cities and towns that are around it, some of them are really nice, you know, compared to when you go down to, say, Stockton is the largest town around. The outskirt towns aren't that nice. You know what I mean? You got to be where there's more money, because then there's more policing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said it a million times when I was coming through California. I never saw any police. I didn't know what the heck they were doing. Up here, you see police. They're all over the place. And I think that's part of the reason there's not as many whack jobs running around. You know? Man, I can't believe the sun is out now. And I can literally... I'm going to show you behind me. That's the sun that way, where there's nothing fun to do. And then look at that cloud over there. That black cloud has been sitting over that river the whole day. It hasn't moved, and it's so nice in every direction you look. Blue sky.
Except for where you want to go dig, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, and I tried going over there, and it was like Mother Nature was like, "You better leave." She was like throwing lightning down and thunder, and Petey was like, "What the hell are we doing out here?" So I don't know. I'm going to give it a try tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, I guess, pretty hard, but we're going to go out and build that little shelter and try to do some stuff out there tomorrow. So I should have a new video.
That's cool. If you get out there and
It'd be cool to
Need
do a
rain
little
trap.
shelter like that, though, like they did in Devil's Canyon, you know, a little, like, you know, trees and whatever. I think we're going to bring some poly down, some of that thick poly plastic, and make a somewhat solid roof, and then put sticks over it so it doesn't collapse. But should be pretty cool, you know what I mean? Have a little shack, we'll have a little fire pit, and be able to cook hot dogs, and
Oh,
Petey can stay out of the rain because he's good, but he hates getting wet and cold. You know, he sits there and shivers,
Why,
and he's like,
you like getting wet and cold?
he looks at me with his ears down, and he's like, what do you want? But I mean, he'll jump right in the water too, which makes me nervous when it's flooding because he just hops right in. I was down at the river the other day on that claim, and there was a spot that dropped off, and it went like 20 feet down, and he was like dangling off the edge of it. If he fell in, he was gone. You know what I mean? He's going to be down the river, rumbling over rocks. So, I mean, he makes me nervous. He's getting a little bit too comfortable. And I'm really worried about the rattlesnakes. It's really wearing on me because I have a feeling that he doesn't back down to anything. And I know he's going to, if we see one, he's going to try to attack
He's a little dog. Little dogs don't back down to nothing.
No,
Big dogs, bears, they don't care.
no, he goes right up to horses and he's like losing it. You know what I mean? It's like that thing could just kick you and you'd be done.
Step on them.
But someone was telling me they have a vaccine for dogs. It's you get them as a shot, and then if they get bit, you have more time because you can't use I gotta get one of those snake sucker things for myself. You know that thing you pump the venom out. Right. I have to get one of those. But even if I'm not a really hairy Italian, thank God. But if I was, you have to shave the spot to get a good suction on it. So you can't use it on dogs unless you're gonna shave them out in the woods. So they have a vaccine shop that you can get. So I got to look into doing that, and I have to get them. The ticks here are different than back home, and I guess they are really bad for dogs. So I got to get them on some different medicine.
About snakes, though, Adam, good thing rattlers warn you when they're too close, and be vigilant on knowing your surroundings. More than just the rattlers, you know, there's a lot of two-legged snakes up there that...
Well, where I've been going, there's a lot of mountain lions. I've seen their crap and stuff like that. So, I mean, I know
you'll never know they're coming. They'll attack you from behind and up high and beyond your neck before you know they're there. So make noise going through the bush.
Yeah.
Make noise. Keep an eye out where you walk and an ear out for snakes. Because rattlers will flee from you unless you put them in a place.
Walk up on them.
Right. Yeah. You surprise and walk up on them. I'd carry a sharp stick.
Yeah. Well, I'll walk with my shovel, you know what I mean? If I come into a snake, I can, you know.
But hey, if you have to end up killing a snake, skin it, put it on a skewer, have some snake kebab. Rattlesnake's pretty tasty.
That's what I hear.
I used to eat it when I lived in Arizona.
If you have dogs, you kind of have to kill them if you run into them because the dog will
leave it alone.
It'll just keep chasing after it. So a lot of the guys are saying if you see one, you got to just kill it, or it'll end up biting your dog, and then you'll be in trouble. So, and a lot of the guys that I've been going out with are packing some heat. So I feel a little bit better about the cougar situation. I haven't seen any, thank God. I've heard them, and I haven't seen any in this area. I saw one up in Tahoe, but their scat was on the trail, so I know they were there, and it was there on the way back and not on the way in, so I know they were out in that area.
You know, all the times I've been out in the woods back in Washington, we had a real bad cougar problem in my area. I didn't pack heat for bears and cougars. I packed heat for the two-legged animals.
Right.
The peoples.
Yeah,
Yes.
the animals usually try to stay away from you. You know, if
Oh.
they can help it.
Yeah.
You know, or they're really
Well, a lot of
yeah,
these spots that I've been
Yeah,
going
and
to
like
lately.
Paul and I said
yeah.
earlier,
That's right,
T-Man,
Darren.
you won't see a cougar stalking you. You're right there.
Yeah.
You'll know about them when they're on your neck. But
Yeah.
it's the the two-legged cougars are the worst. He's a married man. He don't need to worry about those. He
No.
ain't out
Yeah, he
there
does.
looking for trouble. Yeah,
No, I
that's
don't need any
true.
more trouble. I think that's part of the reason my wife's coming out here.
To check up on you.
Yeah.
Is she
She's
coming
like,
to
oh, you
visit
don't
you?
have any girlfriends yet. I said, I don't need any more freaking trouble. I said, you see how much problems I'm having? You think I want to add more problems in? I'm like,
Dano, a cougar
can't
could
hear
be
you,
a
Jesse.
good thing. Not that kind of cougar, Dano.
Okay, I was on mute. Is she coming out to visit you?
Yeah.
Is
She's
she?
coming out April 15th through the 20th or something like that.
Good deal.
So she's going to come
Release,
out. We're going to travel around a little bit.
relieve some of that pressure.
Right. Yeah. Done a month and a half on the road, so.
Funny. That's so
Different
funny.
from a 14-year marriage, you know. It's a
Oh,
bummer.
yeah.
Good thing I can keep myself occupied going digging and stuff. I mean, that's why I'm going nuts every time it rains. It's like I got nothing to do. It's like, man, I could just go and go down my basement and mess around with the gold, or run to a buddy's house. Luckily I'm starting to make some friends around here, so at least I got some social interaction, and I feel a little. That's another reason I feel more comfortable here. I know a few people now, and they're really cool. And
Has it been fun meeting up with people you've been talking to online and stuff all this time?
every person that I've met up with has been unbelievably awesome. Like literally hands down, the coolest guys. I mean, they didn't know me from Adam. They even said it like, we didn't know you from a hole in the wall. And I said, I don't know you either, man. I said, it's it was funny when me and Mark met, because both our wives were like, are you crazy meeting people from Facebook and going out in the woods? She's like, he's going to rape you. And his wife had said the same thing to him. And like, we're walking down the trail and like, we both have knives, and you know what I mean? And he's like, he asked me, he's like, can I see your knife? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I just took it out and gave it to him. And he goes, all right. He goes, that was a test. And I was like, well, for what? He goes, if you didn't give me your knife, he goes, I was going to be kind of worried. And he goes, I feel like if you gave me your weapon that you trust me. And I said, I trust you, dude. I said, if I didn't trust you, I wouldn't be walking down this freaking valley with you right now. I said, I can tell you that, man. I said, I pick and choose, and there's a few people that I would be skeptical on meeting, because these people that I've met, I've talked to a lot. Talking to them on Facebook and talking to them on the phone and private messaging and YouTube. I kind of get a feel for them, and they were exactly like I would think. Meeting Shannon Poe. You can watch his YouTube videos. When you meet him, he's that person. Like that's him straight up. And every one of them's been really cool. Barry McAfee, John Ratley, Jack Johnson, Dan Fugler, Mark, Thomas Poole, just everybody. Every prospector has just been. They're the only guys I can 100% trust. Put it that way. Like I know I can trust those guys. I can't trust anybody else. Like I know that I could trust these guys. Josh Reinke. Then no one know me. They're the first ones to say, hey, you need help. They give me some work. They put me in the right direction. Let me stay in a claim. Bringing me on claims that have 40-gram nuggets on them. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know me. I'm 3,500 miles away. They don't know me. You know how many people around here have been trying to get on that claim? I show up, Austin, and invites me down there. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
These people are cool, man. It's I like it. I like this area. I think people are very friendly. There's a lot of weird people, but there's a lot of really friendly people. For the most part, everyone wants to help you. Like, a lot of giving, you know, people are very, same thing back home too, I guess. Like, they want to invite you in for dinner type of deal. You know what I mean? Like, they're good people, you know? So I'm
They're
glad
out
that
there.
and that's why I'm bummed out about the Facebook thing, because you know what? For as open as I was and I put myself out there and shared my life with everybody, so many people actually got to see me for real and knew what I was actually doing. And for the 1,000+ people or whatever that I was friends with and actually talked with a lot of them, we all had great relationships, and I met a bunch of good people, and it's gotten me to the point that I'm at now. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without sharing my life on Facebook. And it sucks that, you know, 4 or 5 people out of those 1,000 are bad people, and you have the punishment of sharing. And now, like, people that have my phone number are calling me, and they're like, "What happened?
Right.
We thought you died. We haven't seen you on Facebook." I'm like, "Well, call me, man, because like if you know that you're not seeing me, you know there's a reason. Because if I could, I'd still be sharing right now." Everybody's like, "Why aren't you sharing everything?" I'm like, I can't really do live feeds anymore. I have to post pictures after the fact. Like, I can't post them while I'm there. I can't trust anything now. You know what I mean? And it's sad because I've gotten so many good friends from groups and Facebook.
Well, and here, you give back to T name says, look at the knowledge that you give back. So, I mean, it's not just, you know, what other people are doing for you. It's you're doing a lot for other people too. You're giving people knowledge, helping them find gold things, you know, that type of knowledge. So,
Yeah,
I mean, both hands, you know, they watch each other.
Yeah.
You know?
And I know a lot of people, I didn't think about it this way, but I guess like a lot of people would really like to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I kind of had a strange, like I wanted to obviously, but I kind of like had to do a life move like this. So I kind of combined them two. So when I started sharing it and doing stuff like that, like the everything about it type of deal, people got into it because like that's like real life. That's what they would have to deal with. You know what I mean? You're not going to just go out and everything's going to work. And, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be like that, you know? And people have said it to me. Multiple people have said, "Man, thanks for sharing. You know, you're living a dream and I wish I could do it. And I'm living through you." Which makes me want to share on YouTube more. But if I get punished for sharing, you know what I mean? Like, because of these, I can't share. Every time I try to share is when they get into it screwing me up. So it's hard. It's like a lose-lose for me in a way. That's why I said I'm just going to forget about it, and I'm going to keep doing the YouTube for now and keep sharing. And if it comes down to it, and when I start get my new email and all that stuff, if I lose it, hopefully my subscribers will follow along with me, because I'll be able to get on to groups then, and I'll be able to post that I started. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, the way I look at it, I only had 350 subscribers when I left Boston, and I have 719 or something now.
720 last time I looked.
Obviously,
everybody
you know what I mean?
wants to see you struggle.
Yeah, they like seeing me in pain. And see, now it's raining. It's raining now.
People are really, truly interested, and you are showing them a side that, oh, I wish I could do that, and then watch your videos, watch what's happening to you, and you go, well, maybe I better be a little more prepared. Maybe I better think this one a little bit more. You know, I don't think it's good for me because, like, for me, down the side. I have to wait till my wife retires before I can get on the road.
I couldn't hear you, Jesse, because the rain was so loud in Adam's van.
You hear how loud it is? Holy crap, it's down.
Oh, it's raining.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For a minute there, it sounded like hail.
It is hailing a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So is it clear back there where you wanted to go?
No. It looks worse now. Wow,
Bummer.
it's coming down. Holy crap, it's raining like crazy now.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, it's hailing. Look at the hail.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Sora.
They call this snow in California. I said, that's not snow. I said, go outside to open your door and you can't. It snowed. I said, that's hail.
Yeah.
They call that snow in parts that don't snow in Cali. Go up to Tahoe or something. They know what snow's about.
Right.
It's snowing like crazy up in Tahoe right now.
Sure.
I was looking at the traffic report this morning, going over the mountains, and it was like lit up with red. Everything was stopped.
Oh yeah. The spring skiers are gonna be loving it.
Yeah. But I think I'm gonna get out of this park where I am, because I think the park hours close soon, and I don't want any problems. So I gotta hit the road.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Adam. Thanks for the update. You have my number. I got yours. Stay in touch, bro. And
yep. And like I said, I'm gonna do another video tomorrow, regardless. So I'll have a new video coming out. Definitely tomorrow, and then any day that I get out of work early next week, I'll be going down to that spot, and I'm going to try to work the heck out of it. I've been doing a lot of research on the area. There's like 32 mines within 5 square miles of this river. Most of them are upstream. And I got the paleo-placer mapping done pretty good, and there's a good section of it that I can be able to work that's coming down from the old hydraulic mine that they missed.
Are you still hands and pans, or are you getting some?
No. This area, I can do whatever I want. I mean, I can't dredge, but
well,
you can do whatever.
Illegal to dredge.
It's not illegal, technically. It's still not illegal. It's just regulated. It's not really illegal. It's illegal to make it illegal.
That's
two sick birds.
It's just all California'd out, so
yeah.
It's a messy mess out there. We know.
But I mean, I see people posting on YouTube and Yosemite dredging and high banking, and I mean, people are still posting it. I mean, people are doing it in certain areas. I know you can high bank in some areas, or I guess you can't in others, and I don't know. But I mean, if you can run a sluice box, I'm happy. I'll be happy with that. I mean, I've been getting a good amount with my pan.
Right.
Start running a sluice like I used to back home. Start getting some gold stocked up.
Well, looks like with those little pickers, you're on a decent start for what you're doing and able to get out.
I think I've got probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 grams since I've been here. And I've only sluiced maybe 2 or 3 times. So I mean, that for the most part, I've been getting it just by panning.
Are you getting a lot of fine stuff like you were getting back east, or get more chunky stuff?
The thing is, I'm getting more fines than I would back home. I would get more flakes.
Yeah.
I was on some really good spots up in Vermont, and I kind of, at first I was like, man, what did I do? I know I could go up to Vermont and I'd be getting gold right away. I'm like, we're digging all over the place and I'm not getting anything. But now, like I said, I've been bouncing around too much, but I've gotten gold everywhere I've gone.
Right.
It's just a matter of staying there for more than an hour or more than 3 hours. Or, I mean, the longest spot I've stayed on, I was there for 4 hours. And that's it. And then every other spot, I might sluice for an hour, 2 hours tops. You know what I mean? And I'm barely getting into where the good stuff is. If I just stayed at one spot and kept going back to that spot and cleaned it all off, if I'm getting that much good gold out of one little crack and there's 500 cracks around it,
Yeah.
if I
I'd be
clean them
camping
all
out.
up,
If I could
I
camp
got
out, I'd be
all up.
camping out.
That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna set up this little shack, and then that other place that I can get to really easy has some really good potential. I had to erase the video. I was gonna ask you that too, Ed.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had the Public Picker Palace video on there, and was a video I was scooping stuff in. It was only on there for 2 days. The first couple scoops, I was getting pickers popping out like crazy. I had 7 or 9 pieces or whatever. And when I made the video, oh, there was some lightning. When I made the video, I had my other phone in my pocket, and I had like an instrumental song going,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't hear it because of the river. But my microphone, when I'm recording, it picks up like the smallest sound. So it picked up the noise in my pocket, and you could hear the music through my video. And YouTube sent me a thing saying that I was within copyright infringement. And then it said that I'm not in trouble, but the artist is monitoring your video, and if any income comes from it,
They'll get it.
they'll get it. So I had to erase the video, but
Well, oh yeah, they don't have the video editor no more.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I have a
like, my
couple of
question is,
ones
though,
like that.
a lot of people I see, like, they have whole YouTube channels where they're playing other people's music. So I
Well,
don't
they're
get.
not getting monetized for it then, unless they have written permission from the artists or they're paying a royalty for it.
Okay. So I
Uh,
was bummed out. It was a really good video, and I had to delete it just because of that. And you could barely
I
hear
would
it.
have. Yeah, I would have just muted it, posted it without sound.
But I couldn't hear it until when I loaded my video up.
Oh, okay.
I don't put the sound in like on the app I have. I just put it through, and I can take original audio out, but I don't do it. And I'll edit my video and then just add music in and then play it.
Right.
I mean, I don't really go through the whole video. I should start watching the video from start to finish before I download it. But
Now Ed's watching his videos before he's doing the next one.
yeah, I don't do it because I'm doing it on my phone. So you got to think like I got to do it quick. It takes me like an hour to edit it or more, depending on how much I put into it. Then it takes me an hour to download it to YouTube. Then I have to download it to YouTube, which takes another 45 minutes.
Right.
And then I got to be driving. So I mean, like I do things like real quick. So I should just take the extra time. I just try to get my videos out. Like when you see my videos, a lot of the time I'm just leaving there. You know what I mean? Like I usually do my videos the day of, I should like wait a day and take a little bit more time.
You can do it when it's raining.
yeah, give you something to do while you're sitting there.
Like I get some footage.
Get some footage when it's not raining, and then when it's raining, you can put it together and throw it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Soon tomorrow I'm going.
Quality is better than quantity.
That's true. Yep. All right, boys, I gotta get going. It was nice talking with you.
All right, guy.
You watching?
Yeah, you got my number. Get calling. Get in.
Yep, same here, Adam. Text me if you want to chat or whatnot, and we'll get you on here in a week or so. Yeah, you always have Skype too.
That's right. That's true. That my Skype isn't affected. That's like the one thing that on my phone that didn't get wiped out. So
nice.
I can't FaceTime anymore. I told my wife to download Skype.
There you go. Thank you again, Adam.
Yeah, we'll do another update in like a week or two or something. Ronald Adams is sending me out a backpack sluice thing that he made. It's kind of like a bazooka type sluice, I think. So
right on.
I'm gonna do a couple of those videos. I gotta meet with Bigfoot, like I said, and then I got the other Moss one, and hopefully Ron's thing comes. So we'll do an update after that, and hopefully I got some big gold.
Keep your head on right. Don't let the bastards keep you down. Yeah. And I hope it dries up so you could get some creek work in.
And you're in California, so you remember you gotta chill, dude. Chill.
Yeah,
I know, man.
relax. You're
Just
not in
relax.
the rat trap of Boston area no more. But
You gotta be,
California's its
as
own
they
rat
say,
trap too.
you gotta be hella chill.
Hella
Yeah.
chill. There
It
you
took me a
go.
while to figure out what hella was. Everybody kept saying it. I'm like, what the heck is they saying? And then I'm like, oh, so that's like wicked. And they're like, yeah,
Kinda, yeah.
Hella chill, man.
that's hella good, man. That's some hella gold.
Right on, brother. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon. And get that gold when you can, brother. We'll be keeping an eye out on your YouTube posts.
Right.
I can post pictures on my timeline on Facebook. So tomorrow, if I do get some gold, I'll post a couple pictures like I usually do. I'll put a couple little clips in from my video or whatever, because I can post on my timeline. I just can't. I'm allowed back into groups now for some reason,
Huh.
which doesn't make any sense. Like I'm saying, I got no clue what's going on with it, but I'm gonna be really selective on what I do and where I post. I'm not gonna post that much, but I'm gonna do a little bit here and there because I kept my friends list pretty small. I trust
back up there. The ones that really want to follow you will come back. You know.
Yeah. No, I'm
Those
starting to
just-
get more people. Like they just
Right.
don't know what my profile is, but people are like, "Hey, what happened to Adam?" You know.
Right.
So
That's what I
Well,
was saying. What
the
hell
ones that
happened to
need
Adam?
to know will end up knowing.
Right.
yeah.
So,
But all right,
there you
fellas, thank you.
go. All right, Adam.
Hey, you're more than
and-
welcome.
T name says stay calm and pain on.
That's
Yeah.
right, brother. I subscribed to his channel the
Cool.
other day.
Cool. Very cool. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Adam. You take care.
All right, fellas, take
I'm
it easy.
glad I
Be
got
safe,
back in time
buddy.
to talk to you a little bit.
You guys pray for no rain for me, and I'll pray for no snow for you.
Okay.
Will do, brother. Will do.
We'll help each other out. I'll concentrate until I get a headache, and that's all I can do.
All right, bro.
All right,
All
guys. See ya. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
I'll see ya. Bye.
Later.
Later. Right on.
Well, that was fun. Well, I got back in time, so that was cool.
Right.
Yeah. He's still there.
Yeah. I'll see you guys.
Where's that button?
It's right there. That red one. Crazy. So anyway, like I said, I made it back in time. I don't know if I'm
Right.
gonna do that. I don't know if I'm gonna do that job though.
No. Well, did they give you the offer?
Well, he asked me to come check it out for him and see what it was gonna take. It's a little bit bigger than what I want to do. So I don't know. We'll see. So
Right.
check this out. I'm on my computer.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the YouTube also.
Right.
So now I'm not going to have problems with my phone running out. I'm plugged in all the way around, so
Are you sure?
no.
Positive. I know Murphy will find a way anyway.
Well, it did earlier.
That's all right. That's all right.
Are you? What are we going to do? You getting off? You going to say bye to everybody? We're going to stick on here for a little bit.
I don't
talk
know.
to you.
What should we do?
I think we should say goodnight. I want to talk to you a little bit.
Uh-oh. Okay. We've been on for about 2 hours anyway, so it's 10 o'clock here. Judy would probably like that. So everybody out there, Dano, thanks for joining us, and Patrick, Rastaman Ralph, thank you, David, and Paul, Ringo. Oh, there wasn't a David in the Beatles, was there? Tasmania,
No.
Tassie Adventures, New England Gold Prospecting, Ronald, whoever else may be here still. Thank you all very much for joining us here for another update with our friend California Gold Rush, otherwise known as AU Antman, Franklin 1849er, Franklin 1849er, whatever. Go check. If you're not yet a subscriber of California Gold Rush, head over to his channel, subscribe. The link's in the description below. And also, if you need a gold pan or anything, there's some links down below. Everything you buy through those affiliate links helps the channel, helps get us a little closer to where we want to go with this. Because after all, I'm a poor white boy. So thank you all very much for joining me. And Dana, or not Dana, what am I saying? Jesse, Adam, thanks for coming in late, Jesse. I'm glad you made it. I was trying to do your job, Dana's job, my job. And you know how that can go. So, where am I? So
Okay,
until then,
I was on mute. I was on mute, and I said it's all your job.
It's all my job.
That's right. I'm just here to help.
As you know, until then, like it says up here in that corner, may you always have a flash in your pan.
And you know what he says after that?
Yeah. Well, I wait for you to say that. Maybe one day too,
Oh.
we'll meet you on the river. Good night, y'all.
Night, everybody.